Just sit tight there, ladies and gentlemen. The Digression Podcast will be beginning here in just a few moments. JP's talking into his mic right now, but little does he know I have him muted. He's going to go grab a drink. We'll be right with you. You hang in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be kicking this off here in just a moment. We're going to try something just a little different. The words for JP to invent a story to tonight are catnip and whiskey. Catnip and whiskey. And here we go.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the show you never knew you were waiting for. Brought to you live at one time from a basement located somewhere in the Midwest. Digital Barnyard presents The Digression.
So I'm asking this guy, right, how much for the fucking skateboard? I like a skateboard because it's one of those longboards, you know, the kind that you can go down hills really, really fast and kill yourself and die.
Okay.
Right. But this guy is just fucked up, right? I mean, I'm in his garage, right? He's building a coffee table out of fucking whiskey bottles. I shit you not. He's got 2 end tables he's already built, right? And so he's got these 2, and they're beautiful. I mean, it's really, it's all composed of fucking Jack Daniels bottles, right? And so, but I noticed that, you know, the top bottles are packed with weed, you know? And I'm like, dude, what's going on here? I just want to buy the skateboard, but I got to ask, what's with the bottle? He says, oh man, it's catnip. I grow catnip, you know, and I sell and bottle catnip. And I'm like, no, that's not, I can smell, that's not what catnip smells like.
Wow. Nicely done. Nicely done.
The coffee tables are real. The end tables.
Okay.
Mike has them in his house. He made them.
Oh, no kidding? Oh, well, maybe we'll see a Mike sighting tonight.
A Mike sighting.
Yeah.
A here, a there, a what the fuck happened to your hair? One of the guys
Yeah.
at work today who will go unmentioned, I asked him today, I said, yo, dude, rocking the bedhead, that's fucking cool. I like it. And you know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm like,
yeah.
and he goes, what, really? You think so?
Oh, no. He wasn't self-aware.
Oh, no, he
You
was,
fucked that up.
because he came to me later. He's like, you know, man, like, after you said something, like 3 other people said something. So what the fuck did you do last night? It's like, I don't even fucking drink, man. He goes,
He said that?
He said
Or-
that.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah. I don't even fucking drink. He goes, I just woke up, I showered, I came to work. You know, it's what I do. I get up, I shower, and I...
It just combing the
to
hair
work.
is not part of that.
Well, you know, why does it have to be? Because it's a social norm?
You don't want me to walk around with...
No, I understand that.
This shit on my head.
And I get that. But really, why should you have to comb your hair? Because society deems it proper? I
To
mean,
look more presentable, I guess.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That's what it is.
I think we need a world full of blind people for a while.
That would be nice.
Yeah, not traffic.
Yep.
Traffic would be right out.
Well, yeah, there wouldn't be traffic. Nobody could drive.
Oh, man, wouldn't that be cool? Nobody would... That's how we end war.
Yes. Everybody goes blind would
Dude,
definitely end
that'd be-
war. That would be...
Now,
yeah.
think of that movie.
That's a good book. There you go.
A
That's
good book.
That's his next book, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
world wakes up blind.
That's right.
Everybody's blind. Nobody... There's no hero... Well, there's a hero, but he's not blind. Or, but he is blind.
Wasn't there a book, A Colorless World, where everyone just appeared gray?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought there was something like that.
That sounds a
that'd be
little more
kind of
thought-provoking. But this could be thought-provoking.
Well,
you could make it...
yeah.
You'd have to make it like The Road. You know, just real happy.
Okay.
You know, did you ever see The Road?
No, I don't even know the reference.
The Road is... I'm giving you room, too. I'm sharing. I'm being
No,
kind.
you just kicked it and smashed my toe.
No, you know if I smash
Stop
your
playing
toe.
footsie. We're live on the air right now. We're live.
My name's Aaron.
I'm going to mute him. I'm going to mute him, and he's muted. Now he's gone. So, hey, all right. No, he's back now. He's back now.
I'm back.
All right, yeah.
So I was going to use some rude sign language.
Well, you're going to do that anyway while you're talking.
Not necessarily. I do
Yeah.
enough with this.
Your face is rude.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got a finally, by the way, from Nate. We finally went live. We were
Apparently
it was
very, very important people. We were watching some cool stuff
Yeah.
on the YouTubes tonight.
yeah. Should we start with that? I think we'll be on this for a little bit. Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's
go.
do it. We're Simon Simic.
Cynic, I think.
Cynic.
It
Is that
sounds
really
bad.
his last name, or is that like a? Is that?
It's
Just,
not spelled like the word cynic, but it's
Are you sure? I thought it was.
no, it's Sinek.
Oh, okay.
And cynic
Almost
is
like
CY.
Simic meats,
Yeah.
but without the M and the meat.
That's yeah. You know what?
That's how I'll remember it.
A for effort. I think you like.
Well, no, everybody has their little things that they use to remember stuff. What do they call those? It's not polyhedrals.
Oh shit! I don't remember. Rose-colored glasses.
No.
I
It's
know.
like it's not homonym, you know. But it's like one of those kind of weird words.
Yeah. It'll come to you when we're probably talking
fuck
about
it.
shit or something.
Move on. Anyway-
he says, wasn't Pleasantville a book? I imagine it would be. Right?
Pleasantville was a. Or is that what you're talking about? Pleasantville?
No, what is
The movie Pleasantville? About
Wasn't that where
where-
everything's black and white?
Yeah, and then once people started to believe that you could have more out of life, then that's when the two kids go into the movie, Reese Witherspoon and the other dude. They go into the show, their TV show called Pleasantville, I think it was, and then they're the only people who are. It was actually a good piece of social commentary because they were the only people in the black and white world who were colored.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you can
Okay.
imagine some of the backlash because the human condition doesn't like anything different than
Yeah.
the norm.
Very true. Yeah, I guess color isn't enough. Make everybody look exactly the same. But there's some mechanism where you can tell people apart.
Yeah, you have to have some mechanism for attraction too.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole social commentary is obviously to get rid of race, right? So then we have to fight about something that actually
Okay,
matters.
so everybody's the same color. Everybody looks similar. Let's say
Well,
similar.
enough where you
and
can't tell race.
everybody speaks English or French or Scottish, whatever
Okay,
it is.
one language.
One language. One people, one language.
Yep. So now we'd have to find real things to fight about, which I'm sure we would. We're
And
humans.
we
but-
all dress like the people in the German propaganda posters from World War II.
What?
Where they were like
Oh,
always pointing to the sky.
okay. Let me get you front and center. How'd that
Not,
go again?
not this. No, not this. They're pointing
Okay.
to tomorrow.
Okay.
The opportunities abound. They're just over there. It's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, not Nazis. I don't want Nazis.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
this will be a Nazi-free world.
We're Nazi-free. That sounds good. All right.
Nazi-free. I like that.
Nazi-free.
Yeah, because that would have been some good propaganda for them to put when like the Allies would come in and clear away the enemy. They'd have these signs, Nazi-free. Mm-hmm. And no, it'd be like the accident-free thing at work. Where it's a
days without an accident.
No, Nazi-free for Sharpie days, whatever it is.
Yeah. God.
You come into town one day, a place is half blown apart.
Yeah.
0.
No Nazis.
They got the Nazis out of here. About 6 months. Oh,
I get it now. It's the opposite. Like days without a Nazi around.
Boom, bang, they're back.
0.
Shit.
Yeah. Nil. 9. It says 9.
The whole building, the old town. Half the town is like blown up.
God.
Every time you come back, there's less, and the number's less. Well, not less than 0. It could happen.
Less than 0 absolutely could happen. So
wait, less than absolute 0?
No,
because you had an absolutely in there. So I thought you were being like punny.
So when you take the square root of 2, so let's go 4. What's the square root of 4?
Well, 2, right.
What's the square root of -4?
Well, -2 times -2 equals 0.
You can't take the square root of a negative number. So in math, they call it an imaginary number.
Oh, I got friends like that.
That's an imaginary. That's right. So it's kind of one of those things where you think about it because you know what a square root is, what squared is,
right?
And you're thinking, how the fuck do you take two numbers and multiply them together, the same number, and they make a negative? You can't do that. You can't take the negative.
And cubed is
square
3s.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Which I don't get that. Why wouldn't they use a triangle?
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Think about it, yeah.
And and then what's a 4?
Quadruple. It's not quadruple. It's something else. No, I don't know what they call it.
No, you're factoring at that point. Yeah. I think about these things late at night.
Yeah. I just remember learning that in college, imaginary numbers, or was it high school? One of the two. And it was like, what? Really? We're not trying anymore? We're just going to call it an imaginary fucking number? Well, guess what? Give me an imaginary A. Let's just go with that.
Speaking of math.
Yeah.
Today I had a moment. I was talking to a coworker. And
he needed a whiskey drink.
We were talking about a large number, and there's like 30 people who would divide it. And so as we're talking, I did some of my math out loud. The number was like 300,000, and I'm like, well, we just take the 32, and you take 32, and then you take your 300,000. We're going to divide that by 2, and then we're going to multiply it by da-da-da. And he's like, and I just started going on and on. He's like, why?
Yeah.
Why is that happening? I said, no, sorry. That's just little math got out.
What were you trying to do? Like, what
was... No, but I just did the math. But I did it verbally. Remember, I told you I used to get in trouble in school.
What was the thing you were...
How much money would each person get if you have 34 people...
split 300 and some thousand.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I'm just like, well, just the way my head, but I did it verbally, and it even sounded weird when I said it. Yeah. But inside, it's like it just not like a beautiful mind because he was actually crazy, or was he?
See, it's crazy how you can get to the answer, but you couldn't show your work if you tried. Nobody would understand it.
Yeah.
So
head injuries.
I was that way for a while until I was told why you need to show your work through everything because. Let's say you get to the bleeding edge of math and your brain can just figure it out. You're the only person that understands that. You know what I mean?
You have to be able to communicate
you
to the
have
other.
To. That's way harder than getting to the answer.
No, and it is, especially for people who, because I'm a fart in the wind as far as that cerebral shit goes, but you get your Stephen Hawking's. Those guys just, they dream in fucking numbers. And, and equations, differential equations and shit like that.
Well, he doesn't anymore, but he used to.
He might now. He is the dream.
Yeah, that's right. He is. Speaking of the answers, let's get back to the topic we started here. Simon Sinek, he is kind
not
of
the meats.
Not what?
Sorry,
not the. What?
I said Simics, and not the meats. I don't want to give the wrong impression.
We're going to get to this story, despite your best efforts of leading us astray, sir. Okay.
Stephen Sinek was
his name is not Stephen Sinek. It's Simon Sinek. Jesus Christ.
I got the last name right.
This is me trying. See this
Simon
vein
Sinek
right here? That's the JP vein.
A life-changing moment. actually.
It was.
I'm just being funny.
He's a motivational speaker / like business entrepreneur type guy.
Consultant dude.
Consultant, exactly. He does TED Talks.
Yeah. And he had this thing. We watched a couple.
Yeah.
We watched one on why
millennials.
Which was very interesting. And you and I pretty much agreed on all points.
I was surprised.
You thought there would be some contention between us.
Yep. I figured you wouldn't buy it as somebody who's not in that millennial bracket. Basically, what he said, to break it down, and we could put links to the video.
Yeah, we'll put links.
Check it out. He broke it down why millennials are kind of fucked in today's workplace, because a lot of the business people were coming to him and saying, we can't employ these people. We can't control these people. Can't control them. They don't want to work. They're entitled, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he broke it down. This is where it came from. It came from bad parenting. Telling them that they're special. All the ribbons that you get from just participation
medals. Bad thing.
Yep. Telling them that they can do whatever they want just because they want to do it.
And they'll get anything they want too.
Yep, just by wanting. Yep. So
yes. And then
the immediacy of technology.
Yeah, they want patience. They want to make an impact.
Yeah. Well,
that was one of them. They want to make an impact. They want to make a difference. They want to. They want to be part of the solution.
That was part of number one. They want to make an impact. They want to do these things, but they don't want to. They don't understand that just because you want something doesn't mean it's going to happen.
They want to climb the mountain, but at the foot of the mountain, all they see is the summit, but they don't see the mountain, because the mountain is the actual piece that's going to get you the summit.
The summit is the impact.
Yeah.
And all they see is the impact and where they are. They don't see anything in between.
Yeah. Which was very, very moving, because it was a different way of thinking. I mean, I've always felt that. I've felt exactly that about the millennials. And now his thing that you thought we would disagree on was the fact that he was saying that it's not their fault.
Yeah, that was the part I thought we would argue about.
And it's right. And he's right, because it's not their fault. It's initially it's not their fault. They're kicked out of the nest with the belief that the whole world is the nest, and you're going to be fine. Everything's okay, and everyone's going to love you.
And they haven't had to wait for a fucking thing, because everything's immediate. And he brought up like what that does to your brain. Dopamine.
The dopamine, yeah.
Every time you get a text or a like or anything like that, you get a dopamine shot, which is the same thing it's funny when you drink. You get
alcohol.
Dopamine. When you do drugs, you get dopamine. When you gamble, you get dopamine. Those are all highly addictive things, right?
Right.
And he's saying we have age limits on all that, but we don't on fucking
social media.
So these kids grow up with everything happens immediately. They never have to wait. All these dopamine shots, when they feel like shit, they just go get their dopamine.
They do something that makes them feel good.
They're told that they're special. So I mean, these kids are groomed to be exactly what they are in the workplace.
And like you said, you got into college, and it's like everything you had to do in high school was like, oh, bloop, have this in by Tuesday. Have this in by Tuesday.
It was never a long-term project.
And now you got these.
Nothing. Yep.
Now this is something that you can't fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's got to be a shocker. But the thing is, it's not their fault. They ended up with the shit sandwich they ended up with.
Yeah.
But what matters most is what you do with that shit sandwich.
Exactly. Yeah. It's your fault if you remain there.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks that, which I think, and I've said this before, I think if you look at all the people who are depressed, I'm willing to bet that 3/4 of them, it's more of just the shock of realizing that, that there aren't any participation medals in real life, and things aren't it's not all gold benches and lapis streets,
Yep, exactly. And you got to work for things you get. You're not going to fall into success. It happens. But
one of the things he said that resonated with me was, he goes, you got to work for the important things. He goes, love, to attain love. And, one thing I'll say about as far as relationships and love, and I never learned this until I was with, Brenda. Because, you meet, you like each other, right? There's the infatuation, right? Well, if infatuation, that's convenience store bullshit.
Easy.
That's easy. But it's Twizzlers. It's the Twizzler of the fucking relationship.
Yep.
Now, the important thing to be doing that a lot of fucking people don't do is during that phase, you need to be working on some building blocks for love. Or at least the building blocks for love. So you're getting there.
That communication.
Yeah,
you gotta communicate about
because the infatuation expires. It fucking expires, and after a while, it's gone. And by the time that it's gone, and that's infatuation usually lasts about 3 to 6 months. So if you're working on a relationship, get busy, because that seems like a long time. It's not. But as long as you've got a good foothold on the relationship and building something towards love at that point, you're in a good place.
Sure.
So now take that to the next step. So now you take that relationship into the next phase. Okay, you love each other, you get married, a few kids, buy a house, whatever. Next, the hard part next is that 7 to 10 year period. Okay, because now you've figured out, okay, hey, the infatuation's over. I love you, hopefully. But man, you do some shit that drives me crazy, and I'm not feeling as desired as I used to be. Oh, hey, blah, blah, blah is paint it once, and so you get those, you start to look out the window and maybe, hey, and that's a crucial point because you're still, even though it seems sucky at this point, you're just approaching, you're coming to the wall, the outside wall of the trough, and all you got to do is get over that fucking trough. That's the bottom line. And I know this sounds preachy, and it's not because it's real. But if you can it's okay to look out the window. Look all day. Don't pass notes. Don't crawl out the window. Don't sneak out the window. Just keep your shit in your pants. And if you can make it over that fucking trough, you ascend love.
It's almost like you're searching for another infatuation, right? When you're looking out the window, there's an infatuation that the easy dopamine. It's no work either.
Because we all know what that feels like. When we've all had that 10-second love affair.
Mm-hmm.
That eye contact with a stranger that you'll never fucking see again. Unlike James Blunt, who has to kill himself in his video when that happens.
Yeah.
But if you can make it past that hump, and you both can do it.
Yeah.
You get into something that I don't think it has a word, to me anyway.
Yeah.
But you ascend love. And you get into another place where it's like, where things that used to be weird and icky aren't so weird and icky anymore. And I don't mean like kinky sex like that. I just mean if you're doing it right, there's no secrets. There's no, this is my side, that's your side, Yeah. And that's where this is going to sound weird, but you get some fun awkwardness out of it. Like
sure.
Brenda and I, every once in a while, we'll talk about awkward sex. To where it's like shit that would have killed the mood 10 years ago.
Sure.
Now it's fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's like, so once you can get to that point where you can laugh at each other's, once you can get to the self-deprecating side of the relationship, yet still maintain, a coexisting vision, for lack of a better term.
Yep, I got it.
You're in a good place. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
No,
but I think that was inspired by
definitely on topic.
What we saw from
No, that is
Simon.
Definitely on topic though, because the relationship was a big part of it. They never formed lasting relationships, and I'm one of them. Like me, for me, when the infatuation wall goes away, when it's a fucking nosedive. The second I realize that's what's happening, and I have no foothold. It's exactly what you said. I built no foundation with the women I was with whatsoever. It was all. I mean, there was depth, but it was not enough to hold it together generally, right? Where we didn't see eye to eye on crucial topics or whatever.
Right.
All of a sudden, the infatuation's kind of like, oh, fuck, this is...
And maybe you're trying to lay foundation at that point, but it just turns to sand.
Yep. It's almost, exactly. Like the foundation wasn't good enough and boom. But it's always that realization when the infatuation's gone. I was like, what the fuck? It's like coming down off a drug or something. It would be the only way I could really think about it.
It's crazy to see you go through that, because it is one moment to the next.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, yeah, this. And all of a sudden, bam, that.
Yep.
And the thing is, Aaron doesn't mince words. When he makes a decision, hits that principle line, decides that this is this, that's it. There's no fucking change in that.
Sometimes, yeah.
But I do.
Most part.
I laud you for that. I mean, that to have that kind of conviction, you and I are alike in that fashion, to where it's like once we, one of the few things my mom ever said that I actually agreed with was when Becky and I had broke up, because she was sleeping with my best man. She was my first wife. And we lived in a trailer too. So that's some fucking Jerry Springer shit right there.
Okay.
But I left her. I'm home, and I'm in my brother's bedroom. I'm taking a nap, but I hear Becky at the door, and my mom's like, "Well, he's you know, he'll see you if he wants to see you. And Becky's crying, and she goes, Becky. And she's begging and begging and begging. And Becky's like, or my mom's like, Becky, I don't know a lot about my son, but I know that he is something more than stubborn, because when he sets his fucking feet in the ground, those heels are dug in. That's it. That's all. He's not fucking changing his mind.
Yeah.
And
she was right.
She was right.
Yeah.
That's one of the few things that I do give my mother credit for, was actually having that one. So that's like one in a row.
Yeah.
One in a row.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the principal line, once I crossed the line, and even back to relationships, it's just once I realized, like, this isn't going to do it. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Where I figured everything else out, where I sat there and thought about it for a while, because I'm an only child, so I live in my own head a lot.
Right.
A lot. That was my entertainment growing up. I lived in my own head all the time.
what's going to be cool is when you actually bring a girl, like, to over sometime, like, for me, because you're not going to do that until you think it's something, right? You're not just going to.
Correct.
You're not going to waste your friend's time. You're that kind of person. I'm this. I was never that person. Man, check it out. I just met this chick.
I know. Yeah.
Down the street. She's fucking cool and shit, man. We should hang out.
And they're all rolling their eyes.
And next week I come over. Hey, who's this? What happened to? Shut up. It's a long story. Not really a long story. I just don't want to bring it up in front of the new girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I'm not that way at all.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
And we'll see
about that. But
back on topic.
Cynic
here,
was what's Nate saying?
Oh, he was Zuckerberg. We'll talk about that here in a few.
We'll get that.
That's on the topic list. It wasn't, but we're just going to say it was.
That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked. And we're going to get to that. But I think we need to talk about a three-pronged approach about how we can hit the global market, the local market, and the regional market.
Fuck, he went corporate on us. It's corporate JP. Ladies and gentlemen, corporate JP.
Or I could go political. But we have to have a three-pronged approach to how are we going to take care of the people?
Liberty.
Why should we take care of the people? And what do the people need?
Wow, you even got that
you see what I did?
kind of a fucked up Bush.
No, but there's a Bush cynic.
That's
there,
right.
because went why, how, what?
Ooh, yeah, that works.
Fucking moving and shit in my fucking head, right?
That's what this guy talked about. That's what this Simon Sinek talked about.
Yeah.
He got into, so the first thing was about millennials. The next thing was about a thought process, and he used companies.
It's fucking life-changing. We'll put a link up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if you really are into this sort of thing, it's life-changing. Even if you're not, give it a listen and have a fucking open mind. Just listen to what he's saying. He's breaking it down at a company level, okay, like a business, but it applies to your everyday life and your thinking. So he drew a few circles on the screen.
Like a small bullseye.
In the middle of the bullseye was the why.
Yep.
Next layer was how, and the next layer was what. And he said, okay, why is Apple so successful? They're just a fucking computer company.
They make computers just like Dell or Gateway.
Why are they so successful? Because they talk about the why before they get into the how and what. And let's take a company that isn't too successful, TiVo. All they did, they talked about the what, then they got to the how, then they got to the why you need it.
No, they never got to the why.
That's true. Yeah, they never even got there because they failed. So Apple tells you, we are people, we challenge the status quo, we want you to think differently. How do you do this? By...
We designed a beautiful computer
that's easy to use, that looks amazing. And what do we have? Here's all of our products.
Here's all of our products.
Here's how TiVo sold it. They told you the what. They said, hey, you can stop television. You can
skip commercials.
You can control TV by doing this, and this. And then they've never made money. But yet they were insanely popular. TiVo was a verb.
Now it's a verb.
Did you TiVo it? Yeah. But if they would have changed
it, and I never
had it. No, if they would have changed their whole mantra to say, "Hey, are you a person who likes to control everything in their life? In your life, do you like to do such and such? Are you someone who wants to stop and start time on your own?
Should it be easy?
Yeah, exactly. And you want it to be easy. Then
we can do that.
But it works the same way in your everyday life. Start with the why. So he brought up Martin Luther King.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
This was such an epiphany of a watch. But yeah, he talked about Martin Luther King, how Martin Luther King didn't have the internet. He didn't have Facebook. No, he didn't have email.
But yet 250,000 people showed up for his speech in D.C.
All word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, there's some propaganda going to a degree, but as you'd expect. But still, in that day, 250,000 people came to Washington D.C. in August of all times in the
heat,
in the hot sun. So but Martin Luther King talked about.
He talked about the why. Like, so, for instance, I love how he brought up his speech. He didn't say, I have a plan. He said, I have a dream. He talked about the why, what he believed. He believed this, and this. He's telling them about why he's doing what he's doing, and everybody else
He
agreed.
galvanized everybody.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Galvanized? Yeah, he galvanized.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he brought up the fact, like, he's not the only civil rights guy to do this. He's not the best speaker or orator or whatever.
Orator, right.
He wasn't. He was the guy who was honest about, here's what I believe, here's why I'm doing this, and
here's what I think it'll bring to the table.
When other people believe what you believe, generally they'll then follow you or listen. So it was interesting. That's why Apple's so fucking popular. It was weird to hear it because Apple, you look at them and you're just like, why is Apple so fucking popular? Why do I like Apple products?
Right, because we do. We love them.
Of course I do. I love fucking Apple products, but I'm not completely blinded by them. I understand.
Like somebody else we know?
Yeah, it's true. But it's
just a little.
Now I understand why. It's, yeah.
No, but then he also segued from there into leaders and leadership.
Yeah.
Leaders and leading.
Yeah, leaders and people who lead are two separate things.
Leaders it takes one thing to be a leader, and that's
followers. Leaders are just power symbols. They don't do anything.
Yeah, they're a beacon. That's it.
People who lead believe in something. They tell you why they believe in that thing, and
they show you how you're going to accomplish it together.
And here's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
how, why, and what.
And it's so
why, how, and what.
We usually go what, how, and why. That's just how we're wired.
Yep.
But one of the tenets to success has to be doing that backwards.
Yeah, he brought up another story where this Simon guy was at a party, and there was some big name business owner there. This was this guy's party, and one of the workers there wanted him to meet the owner, right?
So he just took him up to him and
just dropped him in front
of him and didn't say a word and just walked away. And he's like, and the owner turned around and said,
"So what?
Who are you?
Who are you?" And he could have answered with a what, which is,
I'm a consultant who teaches leaders how to be better leaders. Da, 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 da.
Yep, he could have gone through all the things that he does. Instead, he brought up the why, what he believes in.
He believes that a business can be successful as long as da 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 da. And he teaches, and he believes that if he can teach or share his knowledge with leaders, corporate leaders or something like that, then that will allow them to employ a success from the company.
Yeah, he brought up the word that was key that we missed was inspiration. He said, I inspire people to be inspired about the things that inspire them, basically, is what he meant. And he thinks leaders, that's what leaders do. Leaders inspire to other people to follow their
it was actually pretty cool. But it was really kind of a moment of a inspirational epiphany for me when just with the why, the how, to the what.
Yeah. So. It was weird. We're not doing it justice. Go and look this video up from this guy. It's really, really, really interesting.
Yeah, if you look up, we'll put the links in, but if you look up Simon Sinek.
Yeah, S-I-N-E-K.
E-K. Yeah. Like Simek's meats, but not the meat and not with an M or an S at the end.
He does a bunch of TED Talks. He's a really good speaker. He draws stuff out. It's really good to understand him.
And he speaks in an intuitive way as well, because he can, even if it's a subject that you might not be versed on, he'll walk you through it.
Or overly interested in. I wasn't overly interested in him explaining to me about millennials, and then I saw what he was doing. I was like, wait a minute.
I did watch another video today, which I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I don't remember a lot of the nomenclature from it, but he was talking about HR and leadership and some of the gimmicks that are out there, because there's such a plethora of different personality type things for HR to utilize to discover the proper or the personalities that you know are going to fit for you, right? And so, but he goes through all these different ones and he shows how so much of it, and he opens up with a story about this charlatan who preyed upon this depressed girl, right? Who was bipolar. She had some shit, but he preyed upon her to where she ended up trying to kill herself 3 times and eventually did kill herself. And so he took that. That's how he opens. And I almost thought I was on the wrong. It's like, I think you labeled this wrong. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. And then he goes into how some of these people who put these personality tests out for people to buy, and then you have other people whose lives are being, whose livelihoods are being judged by some of these tests where people don't even have the degrees they say they are. So that's what it was all about. It was just about that there's good stuff out there, but there's also more bad than there is good. And it was just really cool to hear this guy talk about it.
He broke down a lot of the things you've run into in life. It's not just in HR. It's in like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He talked about that. He talked about a few other things in there as well, about how they're outdated. They don't make any fucking sense.
No,
Yeah.
just any more than some of the old seats in the planes that were made for people who weighed and were a certain height in the 70s. It's like, no, we're bigger now. We grew. We evolved.
But the science is so interesting in that world because human behavior is harder to measure than like, here's 10 of something.
I think
it's hard.
A given, but I still think there are milestones and triggers that you can notice about people if you just pay a little more attention to the human conditions I'm so apt to talk about, but just the sociological implications of an employee's behavior. But at the same time, you're taking that sociological implication into effect. You have to look at management's the sociological implications of the decisions they make. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think too often that's very, very one-sided, which is why I think it's really good that you have some of these HR tools out there for them to assess this and that. Have you ever taken like not the color ones, but the personality tests where they have upwards of hundreds of questions.
Yeah, but I'm an int J, like one of those.
This is
it's not like that,
deeper. I mean,
really?
I took one once. I shit you not. They sat me down. I had a stack of cards like this. On each card was a statement. Left if I disagreed, right if I agreed.
Okay.
Right. At the time, I was 18 years old.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Right. So I'm sitting there. I go through about 10, and I shit you not. I had about 1,000 cards here. Right. So I'm like, dealing these cards to the different piles and shit. Right. And time goes by. I'm like, I'm done. She's like, really? It's only been like 15 minutes. It usually takes people like 3 hours. I'm fast. She's like, okay. So
you were just saying, fuck this test?
I just said, fuck this test,
Yeah.
So I come back 3 weeks later, and she goes, I got your test results back, and very, very interesting. And she named all these syndromes that I had, right? All these different mental syndromes. And she goes,
my God.
She goes, but we both know you don't have any of these syndromes. You didn't want to take the test, and so you just dealt the cards out, didn't you? I'm like, well, I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
She goes, we're going to take the test again.
Oh.
I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to show you each card. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. So I ended up having to sit down and take that test again. But it was crazy too, because I mean, it's funny because I took another personality test of a similar nature, but it was because I was going for some veterans aid and shit, and part of the veterans aid I had to go see this shrink for some odd reason to shift professions because blah blah blah. So I go see a shrink and he gives me this personality test, and this is voluminous, right? But it's not cards, it's check boxes. So you can't just go, you got to actually apply, because even if you're going to check and try and make it random, at that point just read the fucking questions. But it was crazy how they'd have like, I don't like black coffee. Okay.
What the fuck?
Agree. No, but then you have another question. I like drink pretty much. There's not a lot of things I like, but as long as there's black coffee around, I'll drink it. So they'd have questions. So they'd reword the questions in different ways. So
trying to see that you're not fucking with the test.
Yeah, or no, well, absolutely. Actually that, as well as trying to see the schizophrenia and shit, they could spot that.
Oh, yeah.
So
different answer for the same question.
2.5 hours later, it's like here, and a couple weeks later, it's like, yeah, you're not fucking crazy. So I guess you can have some veteran stuff.
What were they wrong?
Oh, they had no idea.
He got them all fooled.
But either way, Simon Sinek, check him out. I said it right.
The cool story I kind of liked, he brought up, oh God, I lost my train of thought, but what was it? It was that curve.
Yes.
The curve.
Yes.
I forget what the hell they call the damn thing, but it was a curve that was like this. Like a bell curve, and at the beginning were the day one adopters of a product. Then there were the early adopters, first week,
right?
And then there was
the convince me, the show me people.
Yeah, the show me people, which is like 70% of the entire thing.
Well, yeah, 35% were like the show me, and the other side were I'm not sure.
Yeah,
right?
They're late adopters, and then there's the people who just never get the damn thing.
You're Luddites.
Yeah. But it was interesting. The hardest thing to do to make your product break is to get from the early adopters into the mass.
Yeah,
people,
you just have to get over that 15%.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you can get over that, he said, at that point, it picks up its own. It starts to get its own legs under it.
It's a cool. Watch his videos. He describes it as
it's because his stuff is
interesting.
very, very easy to digest.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know?
He explains it in a way that's he breaks it down to its core, which is kind of nice.
He doesn't mince words, and the guy seems legit. I just hope I don't, see him over a Me Too hashtag at some point.
A Me Too hashtag.
Everyone's fucking hitting that one,
Oh yeah.
It's like Me Too.
Like he's raping people or sexually assaulting people.
He's not.
He's not. But you're worried he might be.
Oh, Joe Rogan. Another thing they were talking to that comedian because this guy was the ADD guy or the Adderall guy. Who was trying to defend Amy Schumer. No, I'm not attacking her, but he was defending her about the stealing jokes thing.
Keep up, folks.
But at one point, Joe Rogan said, yeah, because you're the one who thinks rape is funny or rape is there's nothing. There's something to do with being kind of pro-rapey kind of guy. And the guy's like, oh, no, that's not what well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know his name, but he takes way too many uppers, and he talks over everybody. And
talking over Joe Rogan. Yeah. Joe Rogan beat his ass.
He beat him up?
No, Joe Rogan could beat his ass.
Well, of course he could. But yeah.
Well, I think anyone could.
Everybody brings that shit to Joe Rogan because he was the one who went live on the Comedy Store stage and fucking interrupted Carlos Mencia and called him out live because Carlos Mencia stole jokes. He got
literally stole word for word.
Yep, exactly, word for word. He would steal jokes from people who opened for him that night. He would say the joke again that was told an hour and a half earlier.
And how do people not catch on to that?
Yeah, it's like people were afraid to badmouth the guy because he was getting so fucking famous with his Comedy Central show.
Hopefully he, The Mind of Mencia.
Yeah, that was his show. His name's fucking Ned. He's German.
Yeah, not Kelly, like the Australian dude.
No,
he was a gangster. Well, cowboy gangster.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. So
no, he was a gangster. He had
cowboy gangster.
No, he had made his own armor, like a helmet and everything.
Who was this?
Ned Kelly.
Oh,
he robbed banks like that. Yeah, he'd put all this armor on. You'd think that he'd just like, hey England, send me a. Let's see, he's Australian, right? Oi, England, what's up, eh? Am I doing that okay? I'll need a suit of shining armor, please. No, I'm telling a story. But no, he just said, fuck it, man. I'm going to make my own. I don't have time to wait for a fucking boat because they didn't have Amazon.
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s.
It wasn't Joey Diaz and it wasn't Eddie Bravo. Just FYI.
No, it was Ned Kelly.
It was no. He was asking about the Joe Rogan podcast, the guy that was on there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the guy's
I don't
name.
know. Obviously, we haven't seen it. Yeah. Hey, when we were in California at the Comedy Store, did we see the dude? I'm sorry. Hold on. Before you do that, Ned Kelly. Back to Ned Kelly. He literally wore armor, and he would rob banks and shit. And for the longest time, he was like a Robin Hood of the people, kind of.
What age was this?
Oh, this is 1800s.
Okay.
Yeah, and then eventually he did get shot, and really because it like went in a seam and like bled out and died and stuff. I guess that was bad.
That's a feel-good story. Thank you for that.
Ned Kelly's one of my favorite. Ned Kelly? Ned Kelly? Or is that John Kelly? Ned Kelly, yes. One of my favorites.
You were John Kelly.
I was John Kelly on the radio.
Radio guy.
Today's New Country, 103. That's a long time ago.
So
but the comedian
yeah.
that I was going to ask you about when we were at the Comedy Store.
Yes.
You know that he just died last month, this comedian, but he had the real thick black eyebrows. No, not Eugene Levy, because he wasn't there. But I swear to God, we saw this guy. He just died. He's literally just died recently. But I thought we saw him when we were there.
Black eyebrows. Can you explain what he looks like?
He could be like Eugene Levy's uncle.
Besides the fucking eyebrows?
Okay, I'm going to look it up. What were you going to start to say?
Okay. All right.
So
we're going to move on to Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh,
Nate
man,
brought
he's
that
like
up.
a robot. He's like a T-1000, but not like metal.
Yeah, I would agree. He's like a T-1000, but without the metal.
Man, why you got to be like that?
I'm not.
You're hating.
You get it out. Get it out. Get it out of your system.
It's done.
It's it now? Okay.
Yeah, for the moment.
The mute button. All right, so now that we're at peace here, no, just kidding. He's back.
I hate him.
He's back. He does hate me. If you're hearing that interference, it's because we have a lot of interference in this room. Just deal with it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 devices hanging right next to our microphones. A bunch of other shit. So fucking deal with it.
That is interesting.
Yes.
But we'll get over it.
So Mark Zuckerberg, he got brought into Capitol Hill and grilled for fucking 5.5 hours. Talking about the Facebook Analytica stuff. What was that company's name again? Something Analytica.
We'll just go with that.
Yeah. Anyway, the company that meddled with election stuff. So they asked him a lot of very good stuff. 5.5 hours worth of very good stuff.
He discovered water.
Yeah, he did discover water. He drank a lot of water. It's interesting. Facebook, their defense is always you signed the user agreement.
Oh, man, that was good.
And a lot of the politicians came in there and said, yeah, but nobody reads your fucking user agreement. You need to make it easier to read.
We both know that's to protect your ass.
Yeah, not them.
Not the user's ass. That's to tell the user that, hey, once you put your shit here, you're fucked. It's mine. I own it, and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd never heard Ted Cruz.
He's a lawyer for sure.
No, but I've never heard him work.
Yeah, well, he's a politician. You'll never hear him work.
No, but I mean, it was actually kind of refreshing to see him actually, doing what he does, because it was just like, wow. I mean, you actually sound like almost like a Gowdy, who I think Gowdy's going to retire soon.
All he did was set trap after trap after trap.
Well, and that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yep. Well, sure, if he's a lawyer, absolutely set traps, but the kid's not on trial. So I don't agree with that. When you bring a person in for questioning, I don't agree that you handle it like a fucking lawyer where like, he slipped up one time, now let's get him out of here.
That's the, but that's what a Senate judiciary does.
No, that's what a Republican Senate judiciary does.
They all do that, man. It's not just them.
No, all of his questions, all of them had one goal in mind. Why are you censoring Republican candidates and not Democrats? That's all Ted Cruz
No, actually,
asked
it was
about.
more, why are you censoring it all?
No, it was, why are you censoring right wing, right wing, right wing, right wing? That's it.
Well,
if he said, why are you censoring it all? At the end, he finally did. At the end.
I think the bottom line is I can't find it.
Okay.
He was basically saying, you say you don't censor. But so what he was saying, he goes, you're obviously left-leaning.
Yep.
Because you censor this and you censor this and you censor this and you censor this. If Ted Cruz was truly coming from...
He brought up fucking Fox News. Why would you censor Fox News?
Right, no, but again, that's right. If this is a hardcore left-leaning...
No, but he brought up Fox fucking News, which censors out left shit all the time.
Well, no, but that was just because it was an extreme right
Yep, agreed.
site. That's why he brought it up.
But his case is shaky when you bring up Fox News and try to tell Mark Zuckerberg don't lean left when you bring up Fox News. That's all right. You fucked up. That's fine. Anyway, at the end, he'll figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. He's a little slow. At the end of the thing, he did bring up.
Back.
Your employees, do you know their political stance? And Mark Zuckerberg obviously couldn't answer that. And then he asked, have you fired any employees, or will you fire any employees because of their political stance? And Mark Zuckerberg's like, absolutely not. And then he goes, what happened to Palmer Zucky?
I don't know what happened to Palmer Zucky. In fact, I'd never heard of such a person with such an awesome fucking name.
Yeah, apparently Palmer Stuckey got fired because he was very right wing.
Oh, but was he
allegedly?
Was he crazy, like vocal about it?
What's that?
Was he crazy vocal about it, like
yes.
all extreme, like Abu Nidal and shit?
I don't know how extreme it was, but he was a righty, big time righty. And here's the deal: majority of the people working at Facebook who live in that part of whatever, they're probably lefty. Absolutely right.
California.
Yep. The majority of them
I mean,
are
it's on the
probably
left side
lefty.
of the country.
Yep, I would agree. And does Facebook seem to lean left? Sure fucking does. Sure fucking does.
You know, I think if you're going to present a social media platform, I think you should just, this is going to sound really weird,
Yeah.
but I think it's hard to actually police something like that completely without getting some people butthurt.
Fuck, you get the government involved? Do you think it's going to be
No. I'm not saying that.
centered?
I'm not saying the government should be involved.
I'm just
But what
bringing
I'm
that
saying
up.
is, if you're doing social media, I think the only thing you should be adding to the portrait is framework that allows people to fucking communicate with each other. And yeah, obviously, if you get some extremist stuff, regardless of where it comes from, right? But if it's extremist and it's hurtful and people and it's affecting people like that, yeah, you remove that stuff. But I think it would have to meet certain criteria. But other than that, it's like the Wild West. Go for it, man.
And I think Cruz's questions were fair, absolutely fair. But I'm sorry, but when all you do is bring up right-wing shit all the time, if Ted Cruz was a Democratic senator or whatever the fuck he is, judiciary, whatever you want to call him,
I believe
he would
he's,
not have asked those questions.
Republican.
Of course he's Republican. He would not have asked any of those questions.
Yeah, the Democrats tend to be a little more cozy. You know, a little fire going over here.
My point is, what Ted Cruz asked was good. He needed to do that,
But it was partisan questions.
Exactly. He doesn't care about free speech. He cares about right speech and why it was being left out of Facebook. You never hear Ted Cruz complain how there's no lefty views on Fox News. That's only the point I was making. Ted Cruz is a smart motherfucker.
I understand where you're coming from.
That dude came in there and set fucking Mark Zuckerberg up left and right, where Zuckerberg couldn't answer any of his fucking questions. And Nate, I saw you write that. You're absolutely right. His questions were so good that Zuckerberg basically had a dick in his mouth.
I know.
Ted Cruz ran circles around him.
Now,
Yeah.
just to take did you see the little clip where Mark Zuckerberg discovered water?
Yeah. So
No.
that
He's
was
just
Mark
sitting there.
Zuckerberg's like, I don't have an answer to this. Here's some water. Oh.
No, but just the way he did it, he goes, he looks down at it like he just arrived off the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a fucking robot. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think there's a little Asperger's going on there. No, and there's nothing wrong with Asperger's. I'm not knocking Asperger's. God, I got to qualify everything anymore, I feel like.
Yes, they do, but how can they claim to be neutral if all of them are leaning left liberals? I totally agree. Facebook has no grounds to stand on to say they're neutral. There's no way Facebook
But
is
you know
neutral.
what? You can
Absolutely
stay
right.
away from the left-right argument if you just go after them for censorship. And
Yeah.
I think that's why they weren't. I think that's why that was what they were attacking them on, was to keep from sounding. They wanted to make it sound like they're bipartisan, even though their questions are partisan queries. Does that make sense?
Yep, I get it. It's not the message that Cruz was sending. It's the source of the message that I have a problem with. Ted Cruz in general can be a fucking flaming idiot sometimes.
I really like his bad lip reading.
Yeah, I want a Democratic judiciary to come out and say everything that fucking Ted Cruz said in that. I want him to grill. I want a lefty to grill Zuckerberg on why they're censoring righties, because that to me is a pure of heart thing of free speech.
Yeah, because
Ted
now you're
Cruz-
defending the other side.
Ted
I see what
Cruz
you're
is
saying.
defending his fucking side. I'm tired of it. And Zuckerberg and his cronies are defending the other side.
because he's not champion.
Yeah.
He's not championing everybody. He's championing his own
Nobody
side.
gives a fuck about free speech. None of those people involved asking that gave a fuck about free speech. It was all about, what about the free speech on our side? That's where I have a
Pardon me.
problem.
I think we need to. Pardon me. I think we need a new party, but a party.
The Whigs.
That didn't work out too well the first time.
Yeah.
No, but a party that is neutral across the board on everything. You know, it's not left leaning, it's not right leaning. It is literally a pole standing straight up, and that's what the judiciary should be. They should be like you should have the neutral party.
I just want something that takes the best out of each. You know what I mean? Like, here's the deal. Do we want government regulating everything? No. That's a righty view. They don't want the government regulating everything. Guess what? There's certain industries, like medical, for instance. Why are x-rays run by the fucking government? That should be privatized like LASIK, like getting veins removed, all that shit.
That's
the varicose
good for
veins.
the economy.
Yeah, it's not only is it good for the economy, it's good for the consumer. A fucking X-ray would be $100 if it was run by privatized companies. So that's where the righties, they fucking got that shit right. They got it right. Whereas the lefties, they got some good views on abortion, right?
Right.
And this is just me. I'm not speaking
No, yeah.
for everybody or the digital barnyard. But for instance, should be the woman's right to choose.
You're
So why
speaking for the
can't there be
barnyard.
a party that just kind of grabs some things out of each?
Yeah, like
it doesn't have to be affiliated.
kind of like the
right?
Levites do.
The Levites? I don't know that.
Yeah,
one.
you know where they go into Leviticus? They say, let's see, leftovers, working on Sunday, fags. Fags are bad. I'll take that one.
Holy shit, he said the F word. Like, oh my God.
We don't like homosexuals. Well, what about, well, you know, your mother-in-law was working on Sunday and eating leftovers at the same time.
We're probably going to have to edit that out of the video. Otherwise, our video is not going to go up on YouTube.
But that's okay to say that. It wasn't said that was, I'm attacking Levites. I'm not attacking
No,
anybody's
we're
gender
gonna-
specific.
So we're going to
Specificity.
put this up on YouTube anyway, just as a social experiment, because we're not popular enough, most
No.
likely. But if the wrong person came in and saw it, video would be down, and our channel would most likely be banned.
You think?
Yep, they don't fuck around with that stuff anymore.
But
Yeah,
I wasn't really attacking. I was attacking. Oh, I was at religious views. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going for that. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Okay, all right. Can I reverse that instead of saying
too
the
late.
F word? Can I say something else?
it's dude. We're in the day and age where accusations mean more than facts.
I know, right? Me too.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God.
Me too.
Getting away from the mic now.
Oh my God. Yeah, am I being controversial?
Nope. Just keep driving the ship. Go ahead.
Drive-
I'll be back here. We're good.
Aaron, come home.
We're good. Yep.
Artemis,
What else? What else would you like to talk about, John?
Come back.
Nope. I'm good.
Come back.
The principal line has been crossed.
Oh, my back. I'm cramping. He's unplugging his mic. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to drive the show.
No.
It's on autopilot.
I got to give it to Zuckerberg, though, as a robot. He handled himself pretty well.
I know.
He dodged questions just like a politician. I think he's got a future in it.
The only person I've ever seen dodge questions better than that was Jeff Sessions.
Fuck Jeff Sessions.
The way he do this?
Yeah.
Like, that's a really good question. I ain't going to answer it.
I knew-
Basically, that's what he was saying.
I knew that guy was worthless when he decided that marijuana was just as dangerous as black tar heroin and opioids
Speaking of marijuana.
because he thinks it makes black men want to rape white women.
It's
Yeah.
we're going to get banned because I said the F word. All we got to do is cut that out, take that out of context.
So
Do you see what he's promoting?
Let me tell you something. The internet, Facebook,
Oh, I'm well aware.
they're all left leaning.
The social
The vast
justice
majority of
warriors.
it is left leaning. So you can't, if you don't use the right fucking pronoun, you get fucking death threats from Antifa. Okay.
I don't want death threats.
Who gives a shit?
Come on, Pa. We're just having fun.
I pity the fool who breaks into this house at the wrong time.
It could be fun.
Be a little fun house like fucking, what's that, Jigsaw.
Oh, Jigsaw.
Want to play a game. Want to play a game. So, yeah, I agree. Facebook definitely leans left. And it was an interesting,
Oh, your screw got loose there.
that's okay. I'll,
It's on the other side of your hand. Down.
let
down.
me tighten my
There.
screw.
Tighten your nut.
Tighten my nut.
Get your nut on.
Getting my nut on. Yeah.
Shit, what were we talking about?
The Zuckerberg thing.
The Zuckerberg. Oh, that's his new name. You know what? Did you notice that the one thing that a lot of interneters were focusing on, though, was his booster chair?
Yes. Well, he's a short guy, and they
No,
gave him
but
a
that's
booster.
hilarious. It's like, and because at one point when he's leaning forward, and you could just see the booster chair's like leaning forward, and it's that was that it's like the picture CNN puts up of Trump. They always pick him where he's like, ooh, making gorilla calls or something.
Yeah.
They always use the worst picture they can find of you.
I just like the picture that his little legs are dangling. And he's not even hitting the ground. And there's little Marky Zuck up there getting hammered.
The Zuck getting hammered.
Getting hammered by the...
Yeah, no, but he
politicians.
handled that so perfectly. It was like the way he answered those questions was he was definitely coached, but
Yes.
oftentimes you see people who are coached and they don't do as good a job as he did. I mean, he was literally like a fucking T1100. He's like,
So I watched a fair amount of it. I probably saw 2 hours of it.
Right.
Not a fair amount. Some of those, you could tell the ones that were lobbied by special interests that are also either owned by Facebook or on the same map.
Right.
They were literally, instead of questioning, they were literally, I saw 3 at least, senators just didn't even ask him a fucking question. Just said, I love your company. I think it's great, blah, 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 and just stroked his dick and then moved on.
Oh, kind of like when the guys tell Trump how cool he is?
Yeah, it was fucking bizarre. Like, I'll take 10 Ted Cruz's and his fucking wacky ideas over fucking stroking the dick of this guy.
Speaking of politicians, I'm kind of disappointed that Trey Gowdy's going to retire.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
He was a bulldog.
Listen to that guy grill people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, say what you will about Hillary Clinton, good or bad, right? You see fucking Gowdy and the boys questioning her on fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
They were vicious and relentless. And it was, and Trey Gowdy, though, he shames so fucking well. And he doesn't say you should be ashamed. He goes, I'm appalled at your activities.
I'm sure he's so appalled.
I'm sure you have a reason for doing what you did, and it's probably valid in your eyes, but in the public's eyes, and in this congressional blah, blah, blah's eyes, it's a travesty.
Yep.
Sorry, that's the best Trey Gowdy I got.
Yeah, he's a little...
I like Trey Gowdy.
He should be on Broadway for his acting.
And I liked Chavez until he just kind of lost his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because he was great. Because he was... You want to talk about a baiter.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Masturbator. A masturbator.
He was a masturbator.
But he would just be like... He'd ask the questions. But he'd ask the hard question. And where a lot of the other fuckers would let people just kind of wiggle out of it, he'd just sit there and watch you wiggle. And he'd smile. That weird fucking sadistic smile. So isn't it true that you, that night when the car went off the bridge and into the water, you didn't try to save Mary Jo Kopechne, did you? You just got him and ran away, right? And he's like, I got all day.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought that was fucking cool. It's like, you vicious prick.
Yeah.
I like you.
Yep.
So, sorry for the offshoot there.
Let's see. Let's move on to another topic here. Let's see. Trump Syria tweet. This is kind of an easy one. Yeah, so this isn't even a partisan thing. This is a fucking moron tweeting thing. The president of our country decides it's a good idea to
rattle a saber with Russia.
Yeah, we're going to launch missiles at Syria, and Russia's not going to do anything.
New and shiny?
No, they were new and smart.
Smart.
Yeah.
Didn't he have, no, shiny wasn't in there. I think it was just an embellishment on my part.
Whether you're right or left, I'm sorry, but you can't back a guy doing this.
No,
on Twitter, you cannot threaten missile strikes, you fucking idiot.
And you don't tell the enemy what you're going to do.
Well, he criticized that back when Obama was in office. I said Obama, didn't I?
I thought you said Adama like Battlestar Galactica.
I don't think so. Well, hopefully I know Obama's name, but yeah. Yeah, so he criticized Obama for... I'll mute your fucking mic. So we're done. Yeah, so he's gone now. So yeah, welcome everybody. So yeah, Trump's an idiot. We're not going to tweet missile threats. We're going to mute John's mic.
God damn it.
What's that, John?
I will come and piss on your mic.
What was that?
I'll piss on your mic.
You're going to piss on my mic. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. So John's back, ladies and gentlemen. He was on like a 10-second timeout.
Can you share a story that you shared with me recently?
Absolutely.
That you shared with me today at lunch?
Yeah.
Concerning your Goldwing?
Oh, absolutely. My dad. Fucking A. Sometimes.
Do you notice how I crept into that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So the story of my dad. All right. He might listen to this and he'll laugh about it too. So my dad used to drive ride a Honda Goldwing.
Always wanted one of those.
They're nice. It's fucking super nice.
It's a Cadillac of motorcycles.
He went to some bar with a buddy, whatever. They would probably bar hop back in the day. And the Hells Angels were there because they were thinking of buying this bar out. And my dad was kind of a Hells Angels
groupie.
He did research on them. No, he wasn't a hang around or anything, but
just a group. He liked. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he had seen like specials on them, so he recognized some of the guys from the specials at this bar, and one of them's name was Tiny, real big motherfucker,
big guy, Tiny,
at the bar. And so my dad's going to buy him a beer.
Into irony.
Yeah, into irony. And he walks up to him and he goes, "Hey, Tiny, but can I buy you a beer?" And Tiny looks at him and he goes, "I don't give a fuck what you do." And Dad's like, "Okay, all right." So he went back over to his buddy and they were drinking or whatever. And I don't know if his buddy was kind of lipping off one time or whatever, but something must have occurred. They hung out there and his buddy had a big mouth. Come to find out, all night the Hells Angels were pissing on their bikes instead of using the bathroom. So the Honda Goldwing and this other guy's bike, the Hells Angels pissed all over the fucking thing. And he said, you know, you can clean it up as much as you want, as much as you can, but on a hot day, every once in a while, it would still have the smell.
It.
Yeah. Yeah.
She took that thing to the car wash every weekend.
Yes. There's nothing you could do. Those
But he
seats.
He sold it.
Oh, yes, he did.
In the wintertime.
Yeah, plenty of air fresheners around. Oh, yeah, just make yourself at home there, fat cat.
Stretch. That is that's an awesome story.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That is an awesome story. We, we were talking because I love the mall. I'm a mall guy. I like malls because people are in the malls. And I like watching people.
This is getting creepy.
And no, not like creeping into bushes, watching people. More so just the human condition.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
that's the best spot to watch that kind of shit.
Oh, I know. And you can just see so much with people. And it's crazy, you know, because we saw some people the other day that were literally, when you just look at them, they're completely covered up. I mean, they have so much. This was a girl. She had so much makeup on, but she had clothing layered upon clothing, and then she had hats layered upon hats, scarves. I mean, she was just. It's like who? Not so much who. Where are you in there?
Yeah.
Are you okay? You know, just to be that self-conscious that you just bury yourself.
It's crazy. You're trying to hide yourself so much and bury yourself. It's plainly obvious. We see what you are because of how much stuff you put on you.
Yeah, the thing you're fearing the most is that we'll see you.
Well, you don't know me. Like, we kind of do.
Actually, yeah.
You have a sign that's
it
telling
says,
us
I'm
things.
self-conscious.
Yeah.
You know, but and I'm not knocking fashion. I don't think everyone should just wear a little fucking tunic. But I'm saying that, you know, you accessorize, you know, you don't, you know, you're putting on a disguise. It's like the ghillie suit.
Yes.
We're going out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to see me. I want them to see this.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, but you know, you see that too. Like in, it's crazy because there's a science between how a lot of people will make their avatars in games, and 9 times out of 10, they do not look like them. You know, now I try to make my avatars as hideous as fucking possible.
Oh yeah,
just because it's fun.
That's very much you, right?
Yeah, and that's very much you. I'm a hideous person. no, but
I have a story after this.
But I just find that interesting how people, how they feel. You know, I mean, this is you.
Yeah.
When you wake up, when you're in the shower and all that shit's washed off, that's you. Fucking embrace it.
Yep.
And just
totally
accept who you are, because that's what you got. That's the card you're dealt. Covering yourself up doesn't do anything but tell everybody you're afraid.
I agree. Yeah.
Your story?
Oh, when making a character in a video game, I've been playing the new UFC 3. It's been out for a while. They have a character creator thing. And EA, it's an EA game. They have this game face generator where you take a picture with your phone of the front of your face, the side of your face.
Oh.
And you put it in their program, and it'll make your face on the character. Okay?
Yeah.
And you line all these points up, to get your face. And it made a thing of nightmares.
I need a screenshot of this.
Oh my God, I'll have to show you this guy.
Dude,
I tried to mold it and work it, and I'm just like, I don't know what this is, but I'm going with it.
I need a screenshot, and I should come over, and we should do Me Too.
Oh yeah, you could do that here.
Well, I don't have the game.
Oh sure, yeah, we can make you.
But then we could do a new logo or thing for our page.
Oh, it's
just with that.
That would be funny. We'll do that. Honestly, it was the thing of fucking nightmares. I saw this thing and it had this. It must have fucked something up with my jaw because he had like this bulbous jaw, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I remember I sat there in silence for 25 seconds, going, "I don't look like that, do I?"
My God in heaven.
Fuck? Yeah. So if you ever want a good laugh, go do the EA game face. It's really something.
We have to do that. Is that Xbox or is that?
It's on Xbox or PS4.
Which one do you have it for?
Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But it was pretty funny. So anyway, we saw Ready Player One.
We did. Hold on, before we go back. As far as making game face, remember when I was playing Mass Effect? I made Shepard this bald-headed, scarred-up chick.
It was like Sinead O'Connor.
I like to think Annie Lennox, but at that point you really can't tell the difference because she was a fucked up mess.
And then what did you name her?
What did I name her again?
Brenda Parker. You named her after
right.
your fucking wife.
Brenda Parker.
You're such an asshole husband. You're such an asshole.
I did do that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you named it after your wife, and it's just like this beat up woman. Like, goddamn, dude.
Talk about spousal abuse. Ready Player One.
Yeah, yes, Ready Player One. So we both listened to the book,
Yep.
so we knew what to expect, and the movie was nothing like the book. So,
I mean, from a skeletal
Excuse
aspect,
me.
yes, it was like the book.
yeah,
But when it came down to it,
the nitty gritty details there were none.
Yeah, well, and I understand why they had to modernize it, because a lot of the '80s culture, as cultural as it wasn't a sweeping generalization of how people saw the '80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, understood.
And so, because you're geeks, like, you know, they had a Joust and Dungeons and Dragons and Zork. You know, those are like the three
In the book.
In the
Yeah,
book, those
in
are
the
the
book.
big three things you had to do to get to get the keys, so you could get to the egg. But then in the movie, it was
A race,
really awesome fucking race,
which was a cool idea, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm sure the GTA had to be the inspiration. GTA 4, 5, the latest
Racing?
GTA. Yeah, when you see some of the multiplayer stuff,
Yeah.
that's all just racing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you have all these weird tracks and crashes and shit. I think
Second one was a movie.
the movie, which we're not
Yeah.
going. Let's not give that away yet.
No, not the movie. but,
Because
yeah.
it's a surprise, because you haven't seen it in any of the trailers. You haven't. If you watch some of the clips, that's your own goddamn fault.
They did a great job not putting that in trailers, because that was my favorite part of the movie.
I'd have to say that was a pleasant surprise, because
Yeah.
as much as I liked a lot of the culture, because they still had a lot of culture.
Fuck, dude. Like I said, we'd have to go frame by frame in that movie to get every single thing they put in there. We were noticing things all the time. Oh, there's Freddy Krueger. Oh, there's Duke Nukem. Oh, there's the Ninja Turtles. Oh, there. Yeah,
Now, the one thing I will say that they kept from the book was the last game to get the last key.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was very refreshing. And
Yep.
that was
They mixed it up a little bit though, because adventure. It was
Adventure. I didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't know if we were going to give out the name.
Oh, that's fine. No,
Yeah, we're not really.
Are you kidding me?
It's the
Yeah.
second key that's the awesome.
that's a real Easter egg.
Yeah,
That's absolutely. Yeah.
definitely an Easter egg.
Yeah.
But they kept the game Adventure from the Atari 2600,
Yep.
which I thought was just fucking cool, and especially the way they did it. I mean, they like I said, they changed it up a bit. The skeleton's pretty much the same, but
Yeah.
it was still really the movie's well done. It's
I
got its
liked
own
it.
legs.
Yeah, I absolutely liked it. Yeah.
And the thing is, I'd watch it again.
Yeah, the same.
I would definitely.
It was
watch
nothing
again.
like the book, but honestly, it didn't bother me because video game culture
It didn't bother
is
me
not
as
big
much
enough.
as I thought it would, because all I wanted to see was a little white clapboard house next to a field
Yeah,
with
but
a mailbox.
Yeah, that's too
I know.
obscure. Yeah.
Nope, I know.
But they should have put it in the movie somewhere. Like just there it is, a white house.
They're,
With a,
yeah, that's all they would have to do. I would have. I got my nut. I'd be done.
I bet you it's in there somewhere. Now that you've seen it,
Well, I'd have to watch it again, because if I watch it again, I'd be watching it with different eyes.
what are you getting rid of yours?
LASIK. No, I'm not doing LASIK.
So they take your eyeball out and you get new ones?
Yeah, it's augmented.
God damn, privatized medicine. See?
See, I know.
See?
Just
So-
for 18 payments of $2,555 a piece.
How was
You could
Far
have this
Cry
paid
going,
off
by
in
the way?
6 months. See, 18 payments in 6 months.
I got it.
So
Yeah,
3 a month.
That's good. Yeah. It was a good one. Here, I recognize your joke.
Far Cry. Thank you
Yes.
for recognizing and
Fuck's
acknowledging
sake.
my.
There's your little drip of dopamine. Now let's
you.
move on. Yeah. Ooh, nice. That was good. Far Cry 5. You're
Far
in
Cry
the middle
is
of it.
such an awesome
Yeah.
addiction. It's probably the best game I've played in the last decade.
It's been making waves.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, I'm a bleeding edge early adopter. You know, I pre-ordered it, and then I bumped it up a little bit so I can get some extra,
Yeah.
some of the extra.
Nice.
So I could give Electronic Arts or Ubisoft more money.
Ubisoft's had a hell of a year, though.
Here, have more money of my money. Just take it.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun.
Play the fucking game.
I have
people.
all my specialists open now, and I've got my main creatures I use is this big ass bear and the cougar. And the fun thing is you can pet them. They'll get up close. You can pet them.
That's the fun thing in this game.
And you know,
can pet
one
'em.
thing they haven't, and there's no games that they've gotten this down to a science yet. The mouth is always lit up. It's like, okay, there's no lights in the mouth, man.
Yeah.
There's see, no lights. But in those goddamn video games, like you go to put the berries, like opens his mouth a little bit. It's like, dude, what do you got? You just swallow a fucking light bulb?
Bioluminescence on the tongue. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got. I had some Lalji for lunch. He's British,
Oh.
or maybe he's from British Columbia.
Oh.
So just a lighter.
I think
accent.
Hope is, right? She's probably from
Who?
British Columbia. Hope
Hope from the game.
from the game.
It could be,
Yeah.
but
She's
yeah,
big into like
it's
mind-altering drugs.
crazy how she how they wrote the characters. That's I think, or not the characters, but the actual baddies, because they're they did such a good job that when you're playing the game and like when you kill one of the bad guys or when they pull you into their dream or into their thing, you almost find yourself leaning towards it, you know, which it's
Sure.
crazy how they do that. So they, because how many games have you played that got you to emote?
Oh, yeah. I could name...
Yeah, the Last of Us, maybe? Would that be one?
The Last of Us was one of them. BioShock Infinite was another one.
Okay, which I haven't played Infinite yet.
Shit. Well, there's one, but it's not... I almost said it's cheap, but there's one called that Dragon called Cancer, or that Dragon Cancer.
You bawled like a little bitch with that one, didn't you?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was something else. Okay, so I just want to describe one scene to you where I realized I'm in for a fucking tough time here. So this game was written and made by one guy,
The father.
the father of the small child that ended up getting brain cancer. Okay? This entire game is their story as they went through this.
And their struggle.
Yep, and their struggle and his kid's imagination while he was dealing with this, like fighting dragons, and they were explaining to him that cancer's a dragon, and then all of a sudden you're the little kid with a sword fighting a dragon. One of the parts, all of a sudden, because it's all like a dream,
Right.
but it's part of its nightmares. Like you're the dad, the kid's crying in the bed, and there's nothing you can do to make him feel okay. The kid is banging his head against the crib.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, I don't want to play this. I don't want to play this.
But
I want
you
to be out
can't
of this.
stop
And then all of
playing.
a sudden, you're in a hospital. Kid's still alive, by the way. Not now, but in the game. And the whole level is a hospital with cards everywhere. Okay? I'm just thinking, okay, whatever. Every fucking card is a real story of somebody's fight with cancer. I read them all. They're all there.
Wow.
Real people's stories. Like that game fucked my shit up. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then the whole ending was just like you're not going to play it.
No.
You're not going to play it. I'm not going to ruin it for you. Obviously, the kid died from brain cancer. There's no fucking cure for that shit. The end, you walk up, and the kid's sitting on the ground. It's in an open place. I think it was to signify heaven or something.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you just kind of walk up, and there the kid is happy for the first time ever. Like, he's in no pain. He's playing with blocks. He just kind of turns and looks at you. And it's like, oh, okay. All right.
So you know, at least know he's in a better place, right?
Yeah.
You hope.
It was crazy, though, because then the credits roll, and you actually get to see the child. They show, like, real home footage of
Right.
him. The guy won a bunch of awards. He deserves it because it was crazy.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel bad because I cried like a little bitch at the end of Mass Effect, but
No, don't. Like I said, this one was different,
and
not like an
and
actual video game.
Halo too.
The end of which one? The first one?
Halo and Halo 2.
Oh, no kidding. God, dude, those were good.
Well, you know what?
That's back when they could write stories.
Military stories can get me.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, especially when they start with those fucking horns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Thin Red Line. The movie The Thin Red Line. I know we're talking video games, but that movie is just, I can't watch that often.
Well, Malik just did such a fucking good job of tapping into that primal need for love and acceptance, you know? And that was I think that was that one. But like, I remember playing this one game on the Amiga. I forget what it was. Amiga, I'm dialing her back. But it was a flying World War II game, right? And World War One. Yeah, World War One. And I remember when those horns would play, You know, they'd play those fucking horns. I'm like, okay, come on, fucking stop that. You know what that does to me, man. You know, anytime I'm playing a game and they get those fucking horns going, you know, because even we'd watch Band of Brothers. You know, the way they did, they even used the horns there. And it was like,
yeah.
Now you watched that series, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you watch the Pacific?
No, I didn't get into that one.
Oh, we tried. I think we got a ways in.
I heard it was nowhere near the
I think maybe that's why we just dropped it.
European campaign.
Because the European campaign, we were married to it. I mean, it was like fuck, we got to watch this.
The movies do not touch on series because the series can take the story
as much. As far as like a good story, it requires a series.
Yeah, it's not fair to movies to have to keep up their 2 hours long or whatever, where the series can go 18 hours. You know what I mean? Like Game of Thrones. Imagine that in a movie. That would not fucking
Game
work.
of Thrones has had some fucking heart-wrenching moments.
Yeah.
What was the most heart-wrenching moment for you?
Oh, Game of Thrones.
And I don't think you're going to spoil anything.
Yeah. I'm trying
Because if you haven't watched it, fuck off.
Not a lot. Hodor. The Hodor death was... yeah. I didn't get like weepy over it because my brain was just going a million miles an hour with figuring out, holy fucking shit, that's some of the greatest writing I have ever experienced. It was one of those moments. It was sad to see the character go, but
yeah, but it was just the way they did it. Red Wedding. The Red Wedding was...
That was more of a holy shit.
Yeah, it was more of a holy shit, but at the same time, it's like, oh, Catelyn.
Yeah.
Catelyn, baby.
And then that's when I got into the books. I'm like, oh, don't worry, she comes back. And she's not coming back.
Oh, yeah, man. That was a mistake because that would have been... Now we have 2 seasons left, so who knows? Maybe they'll...
I thought it was only one.
Or one. Who knows?
Yeah, only 10 episodes or
Maybe
7
I'm thinking
episodes
of
or something.
Something else.
So according to the rumors, they were 6 or 7 episodes, something like that, but they're full feature-length movies.
Supposedly, yes.
Which is insane. Think about that. Look, we take all this for granted. It's only 6 episodes. Yeah, but they're 2.5 hours long.
6
or 2
movies.
hours.
They're doing 6. They're doing Star Wars 1 through 6. Fuck off.
Yeah.
In order this time, not like 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, like that.
So what we're trying to tell you is play Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5.
That's what we're trying to tell you.
No, Far Cry. It's funny how they drew hope too, because all of them.
You don't even know her full story yet.
I don't even know her full story.
Yeah.
I know a little bit of her dogma story, but I don't know her story. But it was crazy, you know, like when the moment you have with John Seed, when you end that campaign, for lack of a more colorful metaphor.
Nicely done.
But
that would stand up in court.
Just that conversation you have with him is like, wow. I mean, like I said, the writing is just so goddamn tight, you know, and even Jacob, you know, the first time he captures you, God, I want to talk about this, but I don't really want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But it's intent because it comes into that human condition that I'm so fond of, you know, just how volatile and ever changing and dynamic that condition is. Because I mean, the human condition is not a finite thing. Yes, we're capable of love and compassion and empathy and blah blah blah, but it's just, you know, everything is in that condition, so it's constantly changing. And so it's funny how, you know, this is how we act right now because we have civilization, we have rules, we have a roof, you know, we have heat, we have electricity, we have the internet, you know. But when all that goes away, now we see what people are really made of.
That's actually, it's funny, the book in this, Simon Sinek in one of his videos talked about why people were different back in like the 40s because they were fighting war. And why are these people doing all these heroic things in war? And he goes, God, we don't have these kind of people anymore. And he broke it down. It's not the fucking people. It's the environment. He goes, when you have danger, 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 it's exactly what you talked about. Your human condition changes completely.
Yep. So
to say I'm a war hero, you have no fucking idea. Or to say like he would just cower in fear, you don't know until you have no safety to go back to.
Right.
Yeah. It was interesting
until
to hear
you
that.
have nothing to lose, or everything to lose, should I say? I'm sorry.
Yes.
So, but at the same time, if you have everything to lose, you really have nothing to lose in the long run.
But I mean, it's you're in instinct mode.
Yeah, that primal aspect of your, you know, the lizard brain takes over, and next thing you know, you're not worried about the number of likes you get, or did I go viral?
Yeah,
I went viral.
You did
on Brenda's coattails.
Yeah, so what was that? It was kind of describing marriage.
It was, speaking of the human condition, right?
Yeah.
But it was basically entitled marriage is not beautiful. And it just talked about how all of it waxes negative, or it waxes negative on all of the aspects of marriage and life that aren't so pleasant. But
it
then
shows the ugliness.
But then it comes back around, to say that, because what's the one thing I always say about shit like this? You got to have salt in the cookie.
Yes.
So
everything
it's
in
just
life.
talking about the salt in the marriage. But the thing is, of all this little ugly shit that it talks about, it's a dash of the whole.
Yep.
Because, and it gets back to what I was saying earlier about, the progressions through marriage from infatuation to love to that ascendance. And I have to say ascendance because I still don't have a name for what that thing is when you get past love. But it's beyond friendship. It's beyond love, but I'm ranting.
Yep.
But it was just really, really cool. So Brenda texted me this, and I'm hoping she wasn't like trying to tell me something.
You suck at marriage.
She burps, she farts, she snores,
Mm-hmm.
I already know that, baby. That's what it said in the thing about
Yeah.
burping and farting and snoring. So I post this on Imgur without really a second thought. Here's my hashtags. I'm going to bed. Woke up the next morning, front page.
Front page of
Mostly
Imager.
viral. Yeah. It's Imgur. It's Imgur. It's not Imgur.
Imager. Yeah.
I love that argument. It's one of my favorite arguments.
GIFs and GIFs. Yeah.
GIFs, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it was reading it from the outside in. It was good.
Yeah, but it was pretty crazy. But what I
Very
really
good.
liked was my awesome wife. She's like, do you know we got over 200,000?
Well, she's following it now. Yeah, see, it feels good to find something, find some gold.
But it's like, well, Brenda was like, look, we got 208,000 views.
Right.
I mean, every day she'd tell me how many views we had. No, it's just so cool. But the thing is, that would not have hit there if she hadn't given it to me.
That was a why moment. That's interesting. That's a belief. That
Right.
reading that was a belief. That's her why.
Yeah, that's because she's sharing her belief
Fulfillment.
system.
That's right. Yeah.
And, but it was just cool because it, shit, I lost my train of thought. It got back to, how she felt, but it was really refreshing for her to see that. I think that you see all these other people. So, we had under 100 downvotes, right? But we had, over 2,000 upvotes, and then we had over 200,000 views. And so the thing was, you got 200,000 people who took the time to look at it.
Yeah. And some of the comments are really good.
Some of the comments
That was
are really
interesting.
good.
Like,
some
we're
of them,
going to use this at our wedding. And like, jeez.
Yeah, and some of the people are like, fuck you, I just got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in there with it, and I chatted with some people, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm sorry to hear it didn't work. It doesn't always work. Trust me, I know. I've been through enough on my own.
Yeah.
But, with hard work and perseverance, you
Yep.
too could be a long-standing husband, wife, whatever.
Yep. Has to be worth it.
But
Yeah, it was good. And I think it scratched at Brenda's passion a little bit, too. That reminder that, hey, we're not alone in this crazy mess.
yeah,
Because you see it like you were saying, like, you see people just getting divorced left and right, and nobody seems happy in their marriage.
it's easy and it's convenient.
Yeah.
And you know what? Guilty as charged early on.
Sure.
Once. Well, more than once, but there's once it was convenient.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, man, if you're in a relationship, work at it. It's worth it. It doesn't always feel like it. I'll
Yeah.
guarantee that you'll feel like that from time to time, but it's worth it.
Well, we are at capacity.
We're at time.
We're at time capacity.
Capacity
So
reached.
We are brought to you by Marriage Happy Pills Incorporated. Okay?
Yes.
And what this does is you take this pill and you're happy with your marriage.
Oh,
Yeah. It only has one ingredient, cyanide.
well, that works every
Interesting.
time.
It works every time. So it's
Every fucking
it's
time.
a happy marriage pill. So
I do like that one.
thank you.
I'm not going to take it though.
Okay, you're already happy. You don't need it.
Would you say I'm happy? I'm pretty happy.
With your marriage, sure.
But in general, would you say I was happy?
Well, trust me, I get to hear about what you guys fight over, and it's not super
It's
important,
never-
life-changing things, right?
Never
So-
life changing.
Yeah.
I did find this one this one pill that increases sex drive and IQ simultaneously. It increases spatial awareness, fuck speed, deductive reasoning, and fuck time. And it's called IntelliFuck.
IntelliFuck. Okay.
Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be pretty good.
That's probably made by the same company, right?
Now, with proven results, no headaches, no diarrhea, no bone rot.
Nice, you wrote that down. No bone rot.
No
That's
bone
multiple meanings. Excellent.
I did not come up with that. This is somebody else who came up with that, but I think we should sell it
I like it.
and tell the fuck.
I like it. Well, people, we're gonna head out now. Today
go
was
somewhere else.
April 11th of the 2018.
2018. That means 2018's years since after death, adios diem, whatever the fuck it is. Basically, when Christ died, came back, and then went away.
Yes,
Okay.
it was a John Christ,
I'll
wasn't
be
it?
back.
No, what was his name? John Christ.
John Christ.
John, or was it Chris Christ?
Chris Christ.
I don't remember.
Like crisscross.
Would they have their tunic backwards back then?
Yeah, he says like I'll be back when I don't have to use my hand for a fucking whistle, right?
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if this video is up, please thank you for watching it. If it's not, we're sorry, but you can blame him for the hate speech tag at the bottom. No, I'm fucking with it. It'll be fine.
Jesus, right now,
context,
he says
people.
He can
context.
pick lettuce just fine.
Wow. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. We're out of here. My God, we have to turn these off before this video is for nothing. John,
I love you.
send us out.
I don't want to work. I want to bang on my drum all day. I don't want to work. I want to bang on my drum all day. I don't remember the lyrics.